All right. So in last lecture, we have seen that how IAM users you can create and give the console access. So whenever you are creating a user, you are basically giving certain permissions, and that permission you can attach with the policy. You can create the groups, right? In the groups, like we have created this dev group. Under dev group, I have added this user, which is the dev user. And in the permission, I had given the permission, which is the EC2 full access and S3 full access. So now it depends upon you or your requirement that what kind of user you are creating and what kind of permissions you want to give. In last lecture, we have seen that is related to console access. Today, we will talk about the programmatic access. So what is programmatic access? There are many languages which basically supports AWS APIs, means from your system, if you want to programmatically access AWS resources, you can do that. But for that, you need a secret key and the access key. Now, for example, this user is having certain permissions because he is associated with a group and he is having all these permissions. Now, if I'm a developer and maybe Java developer, Python developer, so Python is having a module which is called BOTO3, BOTO, BOTO3. And that module is basically helpful to connect to the AWS resources. So first, you need to have the access key and the secret key to authenticate yourself that you are the user for this particular account. How we can create the access key and the secret key? So you need to go to your user. So this is my user. And you need to go to this security credential. So when you go to the security credential, and here you can see that access key is 0. Means so far no access key is assigned to this particular user. So it means this user programmatically at this moment cannot access it. Now, then you need to just click on this create access key. So when you use this create access key, right now it is asking access key best practices and alternates, means access key where you can use it. You can use with the AWS CLI. You can use with the local code, means if you are writing Python code and you want to connect to AWS, there you can use it. You can use application running on the AWS compute services like EC2 instances or Lambda, etc. If you are using any third-party application and you want to connect with the AWS, there also you can use this access. And application running outside the AWS, right? Some application which is not native application for AWS, but you want to connect with the AWS, there you can use this. And there are some other use cases. Now, um, because my use case is at this moment, it is related to AWS CLI. So I'm selecting this. This is my use case, right? So it is also saying that some recommendation that you can use Cloud Shell. This is a Cloud Shell. So if you click on this, so which is the browser-based CLI here, AWS CLI is already installed. So let me show you that. If I click on this, so it opens a virtual machine on AWS and let it open. Yeah. So it is basically a virtual machine on AWS, which is the AWS Cloud Shell. Now this virtual machine here, if I say AWS hyphen version, so this indicates that whether AWS CLI tool is installed on your system or not. So here you can see AWS CLI is already installed. So if you are using AWS Cloud Shell, in that case, you need not to install CLI, AWS CLI separately because it is already a part of that. Now, if you want to, if you are not using this AWS CLI, you say, okay, I understand. Then we will connect from our local system, right? So I will go here. Now it is saying you want to give some tag value description, you can say my access uh, credential. Then create the access key. So when you're creating an access key, this is confidential. You are not supposed to share it with others. If you are sharing with others, then that person can, misutilize these access key and secret. So it is just like a username and password which you are sharing with others. So if someone is having the access key and secret key, uh, then he can do all the activity what you can do for that user. So this should be confidential. And if you come to know that this particular access key and secret key is exposed to someone, then you can change it. So you have an option to change it also. So first, let us download this. So I'm downloading this key. Now there is a one CSV file is open. Right? So if I open this file, let it open. So there is a access key and secret key. Right? I will change this after this, practical. And these access key and secret key is for my account. So you just need to keep it. So you can see here with the click on show also, you can see this. And here clicking on this icon, you can copy it. Okay, I will say done. Okay, download it. I have already done. Now here, if I go to the security credential again, so here now you can see there is one access, right? And now you cannot see that access key and secret key again. Ac- Access key you can see, but the secret key you cannot see it again. So in that case, what you need to do, you need to create a new one. So you can delete this one. Okay. Again, you will get a option which is the create access key and create the new one. Okay. If you don't want to delete and you want to deactivate, you can deactivate it or you can change the description. Okay. Now, the next thing is that um, how we can use it. So we will install AWS CLI. So you can go to Google and search for AWS CLI install for Windows. So I'm using Windows, but AWS CLI you can install on Linux, Mac operating system as well. For this, the requirement is Python. If Python is not installed on your system, no worries, it will install the Python as well. So installing or updating the latest version of the AWS CLI. So you can come over here and here these are the operating system which it supports: Linux, Mac, and Windows. So we are installing it on Windows. And uh, so what it is saying, download the this MSI installer. So you just need to click on this. When you click on this, it will basically have this AWS CLI version 2. So just open it. And now it is just checking your system requirement that whether this AWS CLI can be installed on this system, right? So it will take a little bit time. So we need to be a bit patient. And after that, it will, yeah. So now after that, it is saying, yes, you can install it. I'll say next. I accept. It's very straightforward. You just need to install it. So it will take hardly 1 to 2 minutes. In my case, AWS CLI is already installed, so it is validating that installation is current. If it is not, then it will remove those files and install the new files. Do you have any questions?
Can we retrieve the secret access keys? someone hacks it or if I give it by mistake, or I should create a new one only. Only that is the only option.
You can deactivate it if you think that someone is using it. So best option in that case, better to delete that and then create a
Hmm.
new one. So that if that person is trying to use that access key again, so if it is deleted, then he or she cannot use that.
Okay. Okay.
Good, good question. So here now you can see it is removing the files because I have already AWS CLI installed. Uh, okay, so let's wait this to install first.
And also, you said that we cannot see that secret access key, right? In that access option.
Yes,
So,
so
should I always have that Excel sheet or that secret access key with me?
see, access key, you can see it here. If you
Hmm.
see here, the access key, you can get it
Hmm.
from here, but secret key is only one time it will be
Um,
visible. After that, you
yes.
won't be able to get that. So you need to copy it and place it into your repository somewhere so that whenever it is
Hmm.
required, you can use it. But if you set,
Okay.
for example, I will show you how you can configure this on your system. Once it is configured, then it is stored into your system also. Then you need not to worry about that to, uh, enter this secret key and access key again and again. So
Okay.
it gets stored into a file. So whenever you are
Hmm.
using AWS CLI, so it
Hmm.
basically takes that credential or access key or secret key from that file. I will show you. Let it install first. That's an excellent.
Um, and
Yeah.
also, it is say it shows no, you can have maximum of only two access keys at a time.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Finish. So now AWS CLI is installed. How do you know that AWS CLI is installed? So you can go to your command prompt. If you are using Mac, then terminal. And here you can say AWS hyphen hyphen version. If you have this AWS CLI installed, it will give you the version which is installed. So here you can see AWS 2.27.16 version is installed and Python 3.13 is installed. And this is for my Windows 11, right? So this is the version. Now, um, whenever you are uh, configuring the AWS CLI with your access key and secret key, so there is a special type of folder which is under your users. So in Windows, the user folder is C users. This is my user folder. And if I go to this folder, if I go to C users, in your case, it will be with your name. And in my case, it is Raman. And here you will find one folder called .aws. Okay. Let me delete this because I have already configured earlier. So I'm removing this. So this is the folder where AWS related credential and regions information is stored, which is by default. We can create multiple also, multiple profiles we can manage, but everything will be under this folder, under your users and .aws. So let us see. Now here what I'm going to do, I want to configure my access key and secret. So I will run a command, AWS configure command. Okay. So when you run this, now it is asking what is the access key. So access key is, this is the access key. Copy this and paste it here. Secret access key, secret. So this is my secret key. And region. What is your default region where you want to work? So for example, most of the time I want to work in the uh, that North Virginia region. So it's code. How do you find that code? If you go here, you can see North Virginia, US East 1. Right? So I will use this code, US East 1. Okay. Output format, it is saying none. So let's go with that. Okay. So this way, now you need not to remember the access key and secret key because it is stored on your local system. Where it is stored? It is stored under this .aws folder. Now here you can see there are two files. One is config file. Let us see what is inside this. So inside this, it is storing my region information. This default is called profile. Okay. For example, you are maintaining 2 or 3 user accounts uh, or maybe 2 or 3 different AWS accounts. So in that case, you can create the profile. For example, if I say I want to create one more profile, so I will say AWS configure and hyphen profile. I want to create a profile like dev profile. Okay, I will call it dev profile. Okay. Now, what is the access key for this? Let us use the same access key. Means it could be different also, right? Because this is a different account. And what is the secret key? So, for example, you are creating test user and dev user, both you want to configure on one system. So there will be a different access key and secret key for different users, right? So now this region, I will say AP, South 1, which is uh, Mumbai region. Now, see, 2 accounts has been created. Now, if I go here, so see, there is one more profile get created, which is the developer profile. One is default profile. So if you don't mention profile explicitly, it will take this default profile. Now let us see what is in the second file, which is credential file. So if I open it with the notepad, so here you can see the access key and the secret key. Okay, so that information is stored here. So see, it is very tricky. You should not, if one system is used by multiple developers, right? So you should not store that information into that because anyone can see it, right? So if you are using your own laptop and it is no one else is using, then you can use this method to specify the access key and the secret key into your access key and secret key into your system itself. Is this point clear to you?
Yes.
So now here also you can see there is a dev profile get created, right? And this is the access key and secret. Now let us see some, let us run one command and see whether it is connecting to my account or not. For example, if I say AWS S3, there are some commands which we will see in our upcoming session. But here, AWS S3 LS. I want to list all the S3 buckets. I think I don't have any bucket. So I will create a bucket quickly and then I will see. Now it also depends upon that whether that user is having the permission or not. It is not only the access key and secret key, but with the permission. Now this user is having, let us see what permission it is having. So it is having S3 full access. So it means this user can list all the S3 buckets and full access means it can create also. So I will go to S3. Right? And what I will do, I will create quickly one bucket. So no worries that S3 bucket is a separate uh, section in our course. We will discuss later. But here I'm creating a bucket, say Raman bucket 09876 something. It should be unique actually, that's why. And don't worry about other things. We will see later. We'll create a bucket. Okay, fail to create. Let us see what happened. Fail to create bucket name is already taken. Okay. So we'll give a different bucket name. We'll put 0 also. So bucket is created. Now this bucket should be listed in my um, with this command. See, bucket Raman 0. So because I now at this moment my this screen, this is which is a command terminal, right, or command prompt. So this is on my system, not on AWS, but I am connected to AWS. Why? How I am connected? Because I am using the credential. So whenever I run this command, AWS related command, it goes to that .aws folder. It checks your credential, which is the access key and secret key, and uh, and then it is basically uh, checking your permission, whether that user is having permission to list this. Then it will be able to run the command. Otherwise, not. So now let us do some experiment. So what I will do, I will go to that .aws folder and let me change something into this user credential. So at this moment, dev profile. Okay, let us see how you can access this dev profile through your command prompt. So same thing you can run, and if you want to run for a particular profile, you need to write profile and that profile name. For example, dev profile. Now, at this moment, both the uh, signature does not match. Uh, okay, so something is wrong. An error occurred when calling the list bucket operation. Okay. The signature we calculated does not match. Okay. Something wrong in the. Oh, see, its access key, secret key is not correct. DNCO, it should be same.
Last,
Last O is missing.
last letter. Hmm.
So let me give that. So see, I don't have the access. That's why, because
Okay.
the secret key was not correct. Now it will run. So let me run the command again. Now it should be able to access it. See? So this way you can define the profile, and if you want, for example, you want to do something for testing purpose, check that profile, and uh, because we already have configured that dev profile here, so I'm able to access this credential for the profile. Is it clear to you? Means how to use the AWS CLI?
Yes.
Okay. Now, um, now what I will do, I'm able to access it. Now, for example, someone has access to your password. Let me delete this bucket first. All right. So now let me go to my user, which is dev user. So if this secret key and access key is exposed to someone, so he or she can misuse. So I will go to the credential, and what I will do, I will just delete this access. Okay? And if you want to deactivate, so what is saying, delete the access key. You cannot use an inactive key to make API. So first we need to deactivate it. Okay? Now this is deactivated, which is this key. Okay, deactivated. Now no one can use it. Let us try to use it. So not this one. So now let us try to use this. So it should not be. See, error occurred because invalid access key. Because now we have deactivated it. Now you want to remove it permanently. So you can remove it. Just enter the access key here and run the delete. Now that access key or secret key get deleted. All right. So I hope you understand this concept. So the use cases is
Yes.
that whenever you are connecting from anywhere to your AWS account, programmatically, then what you need to do, you just need to use this access key and the secret. Mm. Okay, or you are using some programming language like Python, Boto 3 module, and you want to connect to your account, then you can use this access and secret. Right. Now, so I have removed this programming credential, and we will come to this later when we will discuss AWS CLI in detail. At this moment, you just need to install it and just double check that from your system you are able to connect to your AWS account. Now, next thing is that multi-factor authentication. So what is multi-factor authentication? Multi-factor authentication is that a security feature which is helps you to connect to your account more securely. It will give you one extra step to log in. For example, if I say I want to connect to my account, but someone already know my username and password. So then there will be one more step, which is the multi-factor authentication. With the help of that, if that person knows my username and password, even though until unless he has one more code like OTP we are using. So until unless that one more code, then that person will not be able to access it. So how to create that? So what you can do, you can just select this user. Which user I'm talking about? Dev1 user. And I want to create a multi-factor authentication. Assign multi-factor authentication device. So in this case, you just give a device name. You can give any name. So I will say uh, MFA1 or MFA dev, whatever you want to use. Okay. Now there are different ways to do that. One way is the passkey or security key. So this is kind of a fingerprint, face, or screen lock you can use. So what you can do, you just when you say next, so it will ask AX passkey, which you can, which gets stored on your system. So whenever you are trying to access it on your system, then it will ask the passkey, and you just need to use that passkey to unlock your account. Unlock means to connect to your account. I will show you Authenticator app. So there are multiple applications are there, which is the Authenticator app. So here, Microsoft, Google Authenticator. So I would suggest that you can install these two on your mobile. So on your mobile, you need to install Google Authenticator, for example. So we will talk about the Google Authenticator. Select your Authenticator app and come down here, click on next. Now you need to set up your Authenticator app. So to set up the Authenticator app, what you need to do, you need to install the Google Authenticator, which I have already installed. Then show your QR code. Then open your Authenticator app. So I'm opening that Authenticator app, which is the Google app Authenticator. Just 1 second. Let me open that. Right. So here now, so here, so now here I have scanned this code. Now, when you scan this code, after that it will ask enter 4 MFA codes. So there will be one code which is appearing on your mobile authenticator app. You need to enter 2 consecutive MFA code. So I'm entering first one, 950374. Okay, after 30 seconds, there will be one more code on my mobile application. So let's wait for that. So 962,876. So I'm entering these two and I'll say add MFA. Now for this user, MFA is added. Now how this user will be able to access? So let me open a different window, which is the Cognito window. Okay. So here I will say aws.amazon.com, right? And here I will say sign in. I don't remember the password. So here, uh, my account ID. So where you can get this account ID? This is account ID. Okay. So I will take this account ID. Username is dev1. This is dev1 user, right? And the password, if I remember correctly, let me check. Okay. Now see, it is asking MFA code. See, you entered username and password, but still you are not able to log in until unless you enter this MFA code. If I enter some wrong MFA code, it will not allow. Okay. See, it is not allowed. It is saying enter again. So I will enter again. And this code, which is, let me open my Google Authenticator app. So 870664. So this is one more step for your um, authentication. In my case, it is not login because I think my password is incorrect. Okay. So um, I don't remember actually at this moment, but you got the idea, right? That this will be one more step. So you can try this by yourself because we are running
Okay.
out of time. So you can try this by yourself. And if you face any problem, let me know. I can explain you creating a user and add the MFA for that again. Hmm? So now
Okay.
your assignment is that you need to create the user,
Mm.
you need to install AWS CLI, right? And
Mm.
through AWS CLI, you need to connect to your AWS account. And by using this sign in, you need to enable the MFA, multi-factor authentication. Any question?
Okay. No.
Okay, so I will be ending this session and see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye.
Mm.